Another thing I've noticed is that we like to choose our target markets as business people. It's like a universal. I'm going to plan my target. I'm going to plan who's going to buy this, rather than going out and figuring out a need, finding a group of people who want to buy something and then creating it for them. Do you understand the distinction? So this is emotional estimation and seeing only validation at its best. Is sitting back and thinking, okay, I'm going to create this thing and I know who it's created for and I'm going to make sure that they want it. I'm going to talk them into wanting it rather than finding out something that they want and then giving it to them. And there's a little bit of each, because as a person who is creating, who is taking things and putting them together and making things that have never existed, we get to create and discover at the same time, and we need to balance those things. But I think you need to start with the customer's perspective. Stop trying to choose who's going to buy your stuff and let them. So I want to do a quick little exercise. You guys have the use case thinking exercise? So this is an exercise, and we use exercises to tune our brains. Okay, we use the exercise to train our mind to do this automatically, and you need to do this on a regular basis. You might need to do it on paper over and over and over, and then your mind will start doing it automatically. This is like training wheels for use case thinking. So we start with situations that your prospect is experiencing. What are some specific situations that your prospect is going through that relate to the pain and urgency or the desire, passion that they have? Next, what are the irrational fears, desires, thoughts, and fantasies? Remember, we discussed the idea that all of the stuff that motivates us is irrational. It doesn't make any sense. Remember, I used the example, someone that's thinking of buying a golf club is not thinking, I'm going to buy that club, and I think that how much does a really good driver cost? 400 bucks? For 400 bucks, I'm going to get an extra 10 yards per drive, and that amounts to 46. So that's only 17 cents per drive over the year. I think it's worth it for the trade. That isn't how we think. Has anyone ever done that kind of thinking when they bought a golf club? This guy in the back over here? Liar. It's okay, like I said, we all have problems. We're being honest here. We think in terms of, when I roll up with my golf bag and I put it in the cart and my friends see it sticking out, they're going to be like, yeah. And when we see that, we go click, and then what do? Then we go do the math, and we rationalize it. Does that make sense? Okay, so it's all irrational. And you got to get in touch with what those irrational things are if you ever want to have a connect with your audience. You got to connect with the irrational. Next, how your prospect will search for you. How will they be looking for solutions? Where will they be looking? And then finally, the customer experience that you've planned.